What's up? It's a culture detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to do a second review of the day, and that would be the new Lil Yachty album, Let's Start Here. Full stop. Period. Yes. So Lil Yachty is a rapper, and for the last few years he has been coming out with some of the some of the most mind-numbing rap music in the market, in the scene. Uh, you know, some of his mixtapes sound good, but for the most part, it's pretty disappointing. Albums like Nothing to Prove and Little Boat 2 are also really lame tapes. And also, what's that other album that's like. And of course, the album Teenage Emotions from 2017, definitely one of the lesser good, aka worst albums of that year. But Lil Yachty has made a comeback this year out of nowhere, and he for some reason decided to completely abandon hip hop and change his direction to psych rock, psych prog, neo-psychedelia with a mix of pop and hip hop, which is very unexpected, and it's another case of rapper suddenly turns rock slash pop again, all the way back from Kid Cudi to MGK to G-Eazy to recently Quadeca. It is no surprise that rappers sometimes do that. They suddenly abandon hip hop and change their musical genre completely, maybe for an album, maybe for the rest of their discography. We don't really know. But anyways, Lil Yachty is the next one to do it, and it's pretty exciting to hear what sort of magical left turn Lil Yachty has conjured up. And on top of that, we also have a lot of surprising features on this album, ranging from Mac DeMarco, Ben from MGMT, as well as Magdalena Bay. So the album starts off with the Black Seminole, which is a Pink Floyd-esque psych track. It's 7 minutes long, and it's pretty shocking to hear Lil Yachty make music like this. The heavily processed vocals can be a little stiff, but it's also really woozy. There's a slow groove to the track, and it is a very intriguing opener. The second track, The Ride, features starry, shimmery keyboards and shiny melodies that I really like. And the track Running Out of Time has the vocal vibratos and the funky bass, which comes together to create a dreamy, summery track. However, the next three tracks definitely aren't all that great. We have the track Pretty, which is pretty slow paced, the lyrics are meh, and the vocal layers are kind of a mess. And then we have Failure, where Lil Yachty does a spoken word track, which is really rare for Lil Yachty. And yeah, I like how we get to see Lil Yachty's mind on this track, but the delivery is a little goofy, I have to admit. The track The Zone is a neo-psych track with auto-tune, but the chord progression gets stale really, really fast. But afterwards, the album remains interesting. We Saw the Sun, which is very spacey and shiny. It's soaked and drenched in reverb. I love the shaky, vibrating vocals. It's such a vibe. And we have my favorite track on the album, Drive Me Crazy. Drive Me Crazy, I love it. It's a summery, poppy disco track that is just incredibly groovy, great vocal performances, and also those vocals are really, soft and smooth, and they really clash with Lil Yachty's stiff, awkward vocals, but that somehow made the track even more enjoyable for me. That is followed with I've Officially Lost Vision, with the very harsh intro with noisy drums and guitars. Throughout the track, Lil Yachty shouts and screams about being in a mental prison. And then we have Say Something, which is a pretty smooth and easygoing, chill neo-psych song. I also like how in the outro, it just came out of nowhere. The key has changed, the melodies have changed, and I just really love seeing Lil Yachty making these random creative choices left and right. The next track is Paint the Sky, and it sounds like a Harry Styles ripoff, and it's also completely buried in muffled, reverby nothing, and it also has a writing credit from Tory Lanez. I don't know why there is one, but okay. Then we have Should I Be, which is a pretty simple track with some simple drums, auto-tune vocals that build up smoothly to the next track. At itself, it doesn't sound super great, but in the greater context of the track list, it definitely works really well. And then we have the penultimate track, The Alchemist, where Lil Yachty really shouted his ass off on this one. Again, it's really rare to see Lil Yachty in this position with this much energy, so it's definitely a surprise. And the album ends off with Reach the Sunshine, which starts off really stripped back, really skeletal. Nothing really happens at first. And just when I thought it's just going to be one of those sad, atmospheric album endings that I've heard a million times already, it builds up to a giant wall of strings and bass. It just blasts off. And then for the remainder of the track, it becomes this fading outro, and it's really gorgeous. So yeah, surprisingly, Lil Yachty has came through with a really solid album. It's not perfect, but I really want to see more of this side of Lil Yachty. That would be cool. So yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty good. I'm giving the new Lil Yachty album, Let's Start Here, a decent 7 out of 10. So, have you listened to the new Lil Yachty album? From 1 to 10, which is rated, like it, and hate it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. So, I have tons of albums to review, and I really don't know if I can review all of them in time. Cicada, Sakamoto Ryuichi, Kaneko Ayano, the new Paramore album, Caroline Polachek, we have Yola Tango, and then Gezan. 7 albums to review.